Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Sunday Night Football postgame show and Monday Night Football postgame show. I didn't get a chance to recap the Browns game Sunday, so I'm going to do that and last night's Monday night game. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football trivia question we'll do for the postgame show. What rookie quarterback led the Pittsburgh Steelers to a 15-1 record in 2004? I will have the answer later in the podcast. Well, it was Browns. It's time now to recap the Browns-Giants game. The Browns are 10-4 for the first time since, have 10 wins for the first time since 2007, and are 10-4 for the first time since 1972. The Browns beat the New York Giants 20-6 Sunday night at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. 3 years after losing all 16 games, the Cleveland Browns are on the cusp of the playoffs. An agonizing and often embarrassing wait is almost over. For the first time since 2002, when quarterback Baker Mayfield was 7, Coach Kevin Stefanski was playing safety at Penn, and Cleveland was in the 4th year of an expansion reboot filled with front office blow-ups and draft mistakes and failure a postseason present awaits. Bouncing back from a demoralizing loss to the Baltimore Ravens earlier in the week last Monday night, the Browns are 10-4, displayed their depth and development on Sunday night in a solid 20-6 win over the New York Giants. Cleveland inched closer to quenching a 17-season drought, the NFL's current longest dry spell. Holding the AFC's number 5 position, the Browns may be able to clinch this week when they return to the New York area to face the no longer winless New York Jets. And face the no longer, and there are too many scenarios and tiebreakers to digest, but it's simple to see the Browns can't afford to lose. Don't expect Stefanski to be watching the scores from around the league on Sunday. I will look at the scoreboard of the Browns versus the Jets, he said. Mayfield continued to play like the franchise quarterback. Cleveland hoped he'd be carrying up New York's secondary, 27 of 32 carries and attempts for 297 yards, while leading two 95-yard touchdown drives behind an offensive line down to its third string right guard. The comfortable win on the road in prime time showed the Browns are getting better each week under Stefanski. He won't allow his team to be satisfied with reaching 10 wins for the first time since 2007. Our best football is ahead of us, and we are playing it, said wide receiver Jarvis Landry, who caught one of Mayfield's 2 touchdown passes. We are really playing it. Mayfield is playing better than ever as a pro. In his past 4 games, he has thrown 10 touchdown passes, just 1 pick, and is averaging 308 yards. Beyond his gaudy stats, and Mayfield is leading on and off the field while helping Stefanski orchestrate a turnaround ahead of schedule. Now, the Browns could clinch if they beat the Jets this week, and if the Indianapolis Colts beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, if the Browns win and the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Colts, then the AFC North Division is up for grabs. the following week when the Browns play Pittsburgh on Sunday, January 3rd. So let's hope the Browns can beat the Jets, and let's hope the Colts can beat the Steelers. I will talk about this, and I'm going to break down the highlights of this Browns game. The first quarter, the New York Giants had a turnover on downs, 9 plays for 40 yards in the time of possession, and it was Dixon's pass that was incomplete to Nate Gates in the 4th and 5th on that. And then the Browns also had a turnover on downs in the first quarter. And then the New York Giants got as far as the Browns 37-yard line. They went 38 yards for 7 plays. Gano kicked a 37-yard field goal, and it was good. It was 3-0 Giants at the end of the first quarter. Then the Browns scored their first touchdown of the game in the second quarter. Baker Mayfield's pass short left to Austin Hooper for the 2-yard touchdown. Cody Parkey's field goal is good. It was 10. It was 7-3 Browns. Then and before that, the Giants had a two. And that was in the second quarter. And then the Giants had another turnover on downs, and that was at 4th and 5th at the Cleveland 5, and then the Browns got the ball back. And they scored their second touchdown of the game. Baker Mayfield's pass short right to Jarvis Landry for the 2-yard touchdown. There was a penalty on Jarvis Landry for taunting, 15 yards enforced between downs. But nonetheless, Cody Parkey's field goal was no good. He missed the extra point. It was no good. And it was 13-3 Browns at the break. At the break. In the third, the Browns had 4 plays, 18 yards at the punt, and went 3 and out. And then the Giants had 9 plays, 42 yards in the time of possession at the punt. And then the Browns scored their third touchdown in the third quarter. And it was a Nick Chubb left guard for the 1-yard touchdown. Parkey's extra point was good, and it was 20-3 at the end of the third quarter. And that was in the fourth quarter. And then the Giants kicked a field goal. They got as far as the Cleveland 39-yard line for 9 plays for 56 yards. Gano's field goal was good. It was 20-6, but nonetheless, the Browns win 20-6, and wasn't too high of a scoring game. A lot of people felt that it was a boring game, but the Browns do get the win. And the game balls go to Baker Mayfield, 27 of 32 carries and attempts, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Nick Chubb, 15 carries, 50 yards, 1 touchdown. And Jarvis Landry, 7 receptions, 61 yards, and 1 touchdown. And so the Browns are 10-4. The Giants fall to 5-9 on the season. And the Giants' season is basically over. So their postseason is basically over. I will talk about the last night's game between the Steelers and Bengals in just a moment. But first, it's time now to reveal the answer to today's Scout Sports 101 Monday Night Football Trivia question. What rookie quarterback led the Pittsburgh Steelers to a 15-1 record in 2004? And if you said Ben Roethlisberger, you are correct. When Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Tommy Maddox went down with an elbow injury in the second week of the 2004 season, rookie Ben Roethlisberger stepped in and led the Steelers to a 15-1 record that season. Roethlisberger compiled an amazing 13-0 record as a starter. And I will have another trivia question on my next podcast, which will be on Friday or maybe it'll be on Friday, Christmas Day, so stay tuned for that. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost their third straight in the hands of the Cincinnati Bengals 27-17 last night at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. This is one of those games I thought Pittsburgh would win, but Cincinnati just prevailed in this one. So let me give you all how it breaks down. Cincinnati kicked a field goal in the first quarter. The Steelers went 3 and out and had the punt, 3 plays for 2 yards. Then the Bengals went 3 and out for 3 yards at the punt. Then the Steelers had the punt. And then the Bengals went 3 and out again and then had the punt. And then the Steelers had a fumble with 1 play for no yards. And then the Bengals, I think, they had a touchdown from that fumble. But they kicked a field goal in the first quarter. Austin Seibert for the 9-yard, it was a 34-yard field goal. It was good with 3-0 Bengals. But the touchdown was, I think, called back. No, it wasn't actually. Excuse me. It was 3-0 Bengals. And then the Steelers had to punt again with 3 yards for 3 plays for 3 yards. And then the Bengals missed a field goal for 35 yards, and it was still 3-0. And then Pittsburgh fumbled again in the first quarter. And then the Steelers got the ball back, and the Bengals got the ball back, and they scored a touchdown. It was Gerald Bernard, right end for the 4-yard touchdown. It was 10-0 at the end of the first quarter. Well, in the second quarter, and then that was in the second quarter. And then the Steelers had an interception, and that was on 3rd and 14. Roethlisberger short middle intended for Juju Smith. Smith-Schuster was intercepted by I think it was Marvin Alexander at the Cincinnati 38. Alexander ran offensive back at Pittsburgh out of bounds. Excuse me. The Pittsburgh 41 for 21 yards, and then a penalty was on Pittsburgh, which is Pittsburgh. Alcorader on unnecessary roughness. And then the Bengals got the ball back. And then Ryan Finley's pass short middle to Gerald Bernard for the 14-yard touchdown. Seibert's field goal extra point was good. It was 17-0 at the break. In the third quarter, the Steelers scored their first touchdown of the game. Roethlisberger's pass deep right to D. Johnson for the 23-yard touchdown. Boswell's extra point was good. It was 17-7. Basically, and I'm going to skip down to the fourth quarter. We're running out of time. But basically, the Cincinnati Bengals won. I'll be back on Christmas Day with my guest, Eric Hoyle. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.